Hey YouTubers, I'm showing this little area right off the trail. Nothing spectacular about it, but I know exactly where it is because of this pine tree that's just dripping with sap. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the sap on here. I'm going to take some back for some fire starter. That's why I remember the tree. You can just really see a lot of the sap from the tree on the outside. But over here was my very first YouTube video, all of 23 seconds. Early January 2015, and I was camping with Swamp Camper and Campfire Steve, and we were out on a hiking trail, and some hikers said, hey, there's a rattlesnake about a tenth of a mile down the trail. So we went there, and there it was, and it was really agitated. If you look in the video, the hikers must have kind of messed with it a little bit because there's like a stick in the in the middle of where the rattlesnake is coiled up, and I would never do anything like that. I don't agitate animals, but it was my first rattlesnake and my first YouTube video, so it was quite striking. It's all of 23 seconds, but I love it, and it was cool. And after that, it took me a while to get in front of the camera. I think in the first year I was maybe in a couple of cameos on other people's channels, and maybe a couple real quick where I had to be in it, where I was describing making some sort of bushcraft thing or something. But it took me a couple years to really feel comfortable in front of the camera. So I'm going to do a tag here. So what I'll be doing is I will be leaving the tag to my very first video that you can click on and see. But I'm going to tag a couple of people here. Some of them probably get annoyed I've been tagging them too much. I don't want to sit on the pine here because the ticks are really bad, so I'm kind of scratching down. And I'm going to tag the following people to show us the link to your very first YouTube video. And that's going to be Under the Carolina Sky from North Carolina. I'll leave his link below. Rhialobran from England, the Cornish area, I believe. I will leave his link. Carolina Chris Outdoors from South Carolina. I'm curious to see what his very first YouTube video was. Another person I'm really curious to see what their very first YouTube video was is Nathan4071 out in California. So you've all been tagged. If you'd like to tag along, send in your video or send a link to your very first video on YouTube.